Hello everybody, it's Pineapple here, back with another video. And so today we're talking about Rescue Ace, which has recently in the OCG gotten a whole new wave of support. That support is exactly what the deck needs, fortunately for it, but it still has some terrible stipulations like all of the Rescue Ace cards. But that said, we're going to see if it's playable today. So let's first hop into the card by card. Of course, we have one copy of Turbulence. You can banish 2 Rescue Ace monsters from your graveyard special from your hand for free. During the main phase, you can set up to 4 Rescue Ace quick place or normal trap cards directly from your deck. And if another card you control leaves the field by your opponent's card effect, you get to pop a card on the field. Turbulence is fantastic. It does everything for the deck, and the name of the game is to turbo him out as fast as humanly possible. We have one copy of the brand new Rescue Ace Preventer, which allows you to banish a Rescue Ace card from your graveyard, special up from your hand, and if you control another Rescue Ace monster, quick effect, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls, change it to face down defense position. Additionally, if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to target one of your banished Rescue Ace monsters and special summon it, which is very good on the crackback, etc., etc. We have 3 copies of Fire Engine, where if a Rescue Ace is normal or special, you get to special up from your hand. And if a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you get to special summon a Rescue Ace from deck. We have 1 copy of Rescue Ace Monitor. Normal or special lets you add a Rescue Ace trap directly from your deck, which is helpful in corner scenarios when you have really all engine hands. And as a quick effect, you can tribute it from your hand or field when your opponent activates the monster effect in order to target a Rescue Ace in your graveyard except itself and special summon it. We have 3 copies of Airlifter. This is a 1-card Turbulence, since on normal or special it adds a Rescue Ace spell from your deck to your hand. And when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can tribute it from your hand or field, special summon a Rescue Ace monster from your hand except itself, which effect will never come up. We have 3 copies of Impulse. During your main phase, you can choose 1 effect monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. It's your choice if tied. Neither player can activate that monster's effect on the field this turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can tribute it from your hand and or field in order to special summon a Rescue Ace directly from your deck. Obviously, that's a hard one. We have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. We are a fire deck, which means we get to play Sunlight Wolf, so adding back your Ash is very reasonable. 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, 3 copies of Droll for format-related things, and the Boy, 3 copies of Hydrant. If you control another Rescue Ace monster, Hydrant can't be the target of attacks or effects. And additionally, you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can activate a quick play spell or trap card the turn it was set by a Rescue Ace card. And during your main phase, you get to add 1 Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand. We have 1 copy of 1/1 to turbo out Hydra, 3 copies of Prosperity because our extra deck is very thin, or not thin, it's very diverse. And additionally, we really need to see our cards. We have 1 copy of Rhoda to search Airlifter and Monitor. We then have 1 copy of Alert, which has you add a Rescue Ace from grave to hand. But if you control a Rescue Ace Hydrant, you can add from deck to hand instead. 3 copies of the brand new Emergency. This card does everything. You special summon a Rescue Ace from your deck in defense position, then you tribute a Rescue Ace from your hand or field. Yeah, so it's E-Telly. The problem is, unlike, actual E-Telly, it does have a stipulation attached to it, which is, of course, the tribute effect. But that said, it does turn our boy Airlifter into a 1-card Turbulence, which is really good. Additionally, if it's in the grave, you can target a Rescue Ace trap in your grave, set it by banishing this card from your grave. We have 1 copy of Rescue. You get to target a Rescue Ace in your grave, or if you control a Hydrant, you can target one in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field. This is really good for just graveyard interruptions. Additionally, just bringing back a Hydrant, bringing back, Turbulence is just always good. We have 1 copy of Rescue Ace HQ. If your opponent controls a monster, all Rescue Ace monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. And during your main phase, you get to normal summon a Rescue Ace monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain that once per turn. And once per turn, you can target up your 4 Rescue Ace cards that are banished during your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, draw a card, which is really good for recycling. We have 1 copy of Contain. If you control a Rescue Ace monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls, and this turn that effect monster can't attack and its effects are negated. If you control a Hydrant at Resolution, then that monster can't be used as a material for Link Fusion Synchro XZs, which is very powerful. We have 1 copy of Extinguish. If you control a Rescue Ace monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you control Hydrant, your opponent can't activate that monster's effects for the rest of the turn. In other words, it also prevents floating. We have 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. And, of course, 1 copy of the new Reinforce. This comes out in Photon Hypernova Syac. It has you target a Rescue Ace monster you control, and for the rest of the turn, it gains 1500 attack and defense and is unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. And the next time it would be destroyed by battle, it's not destroyed. Additionally, you can banish from your graveyard, target a Rescue Ace spell in your grave, set it set that card, and you can only use that effect once per turn. In the extra, we have one copy of Underworld Goddess, one copy of Avermax, one copy of Access Code, an Apo, a Soldier of Chaos, Decode Heat Soul, a Nightmare Unicorn, Phoenix, Hita, 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf, Serb, of course, IP Masquerado, and a copy of Link Karibo. So with that, let's hop into some games. Our first match is up against my beloved lab. We'll have to fire Brosby first and pray we find something, which we do very fortunately. It's the boy, Airlifter. We'll take Airlifter, of course, and then proceed to normal him out. We'll trigger Airlifter. We'll get Emergency. From here, we will fire Emergency. We'll get out Hydrant. We'll tribute off Airlifter. We'll trigger, of course, Hydrant. We'll get the boy Turbulence. We will proceed to banish 2 to summon Turbulence. We'll trigger Turbulence here, set 4, and then proceed to fire off Alert to get ourselves Engine. We will banish Alert to summon out, of course, Preventer. We'll trigger the Ever Lovely Hydrant. We'll make an IP. We'll bring back our Airlifter with Preventer. Set 2 more back row. In the end phase, they'll fire off Wannabe, not reading, so they'll get to Excavate 0. They'll fire Duality, finding Ariana, Strike, and another Wannabe, which is about as good as it gets because they found an Ariana. From here, they will activate Lord because they are the best player and are playing that stupid card that sucks. They will start with Ariana and we will fire off Infinite Impermanence. They will set 3 and then proceed to battle. We will end of main fire off a Unicorn to snipe a back row. They'll go to battle phase, realize they can't attack Hydrant, and pass. In the end phase, we'll bring back, of course, Airlifter to get another search. We'll get another copy of Emergency here. From here, they will pass turn back to us, and we'll draw HQ, which is pretty good. We'll start with HQ. We'll link off for Access Code, and then proceed to pop their Ariana. They'll fire Big Welcome. They'll trap checks for another Big Welcome. I'm not sure why they did this. Don't ask me. They'll bounce Lady to hand. And trigger, of course, their Heavenly Prison as well as Lady. They'll special both out, and then set a copy of Dogmatic Punishment. But from here, we get to play for free. We'll go to battle so that we don't get to trigger their Lady, and then to clear their board. We'll fire off another copy of Turbulence because I forgot to trigger the field spell first. So we'll cycle back a bunch of cards here, but it doesn't really matter since we're so far ahead. From here, we will fire off Emergence. We'll get out our guy, and then proceed to trigger the Ever Lovely Hydrant. We'll normal summon this Airlifter, get another copy of Rescue. We just want to put the guy in grave. We'll fire off Rescue and steal their Lady before linking off for Nightmare Phoenix. We'll pop their back row, draw a card, and they will concede. So our second match of the day is up against Plunder. Of course, we are going first, and we will start with Rhoda to try to bait Nash. If we can't, so we'll grab Impulse here. Here we'll normal summon Airlifter. We'll fire off Airlifter for HQ here since we already have Emergency. From here, we'll fire HQ. We'll proceed to get our extra normal with Impulse. We'll fire off Emergence, get Hydra, and tribute Airlifter, and trigger, of course, our Hydrant. They will Veiler, but not realizing they can't target. We'll grab Turbulence, Special Turbulence. They will Imperm us, which really sucks, but we've -2'd them, so we'll set Extinguish and patch back to them with Ogre in hand. From here, they'll normal summon this copy of Plunder Patrol Helm. We will immediately fire off this copy of Extinguish, preventing White from triggering. We'll draw Alert. And of course, we will grab Airlifter. We'll proceed to normal Airlifter. We'll attempt Hydrant again, but they will be met with a second Veiler. They haven't read Hydrant for some reason, but that's not my problem. We'll proceed to shuffle 4 back and draw 1. It's an Ash Blossom, which is pretty great. We'll trigger Airlifter here as well as Engine. We'll add Emergence and proceed to battle as we have lethal on board. We'll clear their Veiler and then get in for well over lethal. So our last match of the day is up against the mega super threat that is Dynomist. We'll start with Airlifter, of course. We'll get Emergency. We will then proceed to fire Emergency. We'll get another Hydrant. We'll tribute off our Airlifter. We'll trigger, of course, Hydrant. We'll get Turbulence. Proceed to fire off, the Ever Lovely Alert, and then proceed to banish off this Airlifter and another for Turbulence. We'll set 4, and then set this Imperm and pass back to our opponent from here. We will proceed to get Kaiju, which really sucks. They will special out this copy of Brachion. They'll change a Pardusk, and we will bring back our Hydrant. We'll pop our own Turbulence in the battle phase, and then use Reinforce to protect Hydrant so that it doesn't die. They'll scale, special from scale, and from here we still have 2 Imperms. They'll pass back to us. We'll use Reinforce to reset this copy of Rescue. And then we will proceed to draw into another copy of Emergency because I'm the best player. We will proceed to special out Preventer. We'll link off for Phoenix to pop their back row. row, and they will train it. It's Howling. Howling lets them protect. We'll bring back this copy of Airlifter with Preventer, or draw a card. We'll trigger, of course, Hydrant, get another copy of Fire Engine. We'll fire off Alert to get back the ever lovely Turbulence. We'll proceed to trigger Fire Engine, link off for Unicorn to spin. They will attempt to chain Howling. We'll chain Ogre here, and then we will set one out of our deck. We'll link off for Access Code, and this is the end of the game. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Personally, I'm pretty excited for the new Rescue Ace support. It seems really sick. It does a lot. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.